Okay guys, here's the snow plow that I made from the hot water tank. And really the hot water tank is just acting as the skin for the snow to build up against. And as you can see, I've already used it, and the materials I used for the bottom lip here, it wasn't going to be my final lip. And I have a pretty rocky ground. And so I hit some rocks and it just ripped that thin bed frame, all the pieces. And I couldn't get to some of my better metal because of all the snow. And I didn't want to put any money into this because I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and I didn't want to waste any money. I'd rather just waste a few hours of my time because I enjoy building things anyways. And this was mostly just a prototype. But I actually plowed the majority of what I needed to plow before I broke any of the lip. It was right at the end. I was plowing some spots where I knew it was really rocky, but I needed to get to my firewood stash, and I hit them rocks, and I could tell it damaged the lip just by the impact. And there's no give because I hadn't gotten around to designing a swivel mount, or for it to tip forward when it hits something. I just welded these bed frame brackets on there that I had as a quick fix, and it worked. It worked for straight plowing. It wasn't great. The tractor didn't like just the straight plowing all the time. If you had a way of angling it, the tractor would have done better. Plus I don't have chains, and so when the plow would fill up, it would pretty much stop the tractor even with the weight of the backhoe on. But I really just wanted to prove that I could first build it before I put any time, like significant amount of time or money into it. And it wasn't well thought out. I just quickly tack welded things, and you can see where the tack welds have broken free because the bed frame just doesn't weld very well. It's like a very brittle metal. Unless you get some decent sized welds on there, they end up just snapping. And I get all these free bed frames from my brother, who cleans out houses for families that have lost an elderly person, or just anybody who has an estate that needs cleaned up. My brother goes and gets all the free steel for me, and sometimes I'll make simple things out of the bed frame rails, but this is a little more than I think the bed frame rails can handle. But I mean, for what I have into it, a couple hours, and the materials, the cost of the materials, and the welding supplies, I really couldn't complain for the job it did. On this part here, when I flattened it with the tractor, it put some creases, and so I started going through and running some bolts through and flattening it out because I thought it would look better flat. I've seen where people will do a round pipe for the lip, so that way it doesn't dig into the gravel, because I don't have much cement or concrete to plow. Most of my stuff is just dirt road and gravel driveway and my backfield, that if I ever even need to get back there, usually I just leave the snow. So this is basically where I'm at now. What I plan to do is remove these back brackets here I put for attaching to my forklift frame, and then I will go dig up some of my hidden steel, and then I will build a swivel mount that basically goes between, it'll go between here and here, and then here, and then we'll allow it to swivel. And I'll do it like the professional plows, where there's a spring that goes down, and a spring that goes down over on this side, and it will hold it stout until you hit something, and then it will pop forward to release and prevent excessive damage and keep it from destroying itself. But all in all, the bed frame really has held up pretty well, except for where I just tack welded it, and it was under quite a bit of strain already from the shape of the hot water tank, and some of the welds popped before I even went out and used it as a plow. It was just too much strain for those tiny little welds I put on there, plus the type of steel that bed frame is. I mean, it just snaps right off. But really the annealed steel that the water tank is made of actually it works pretty good as a skin, I think. It's pretty thin, so when you weld it, it will burn holes in it. But I think if you're careful, this would work great for a low cost plow that you're possibly only going to use once or twice a year. Or normally I don't even plow my snow. Anyways, I thought I'd show you where I'm at with this now, and I'll show you the quick videos of how I got to this point. I got really frustrated after I welded on the first bracket and saw that how it was turning out, and because I like to do things a certain way, I about just threw this back out in the yard for a scrap pile and was gonna not finish it, and then it snowed, and then I knew my bucket for my tractor just wasn't gonna move the snow. But I will continue to film the rest of the build that I do on it. And for the crack here in the middle, I probably shouldn't have put the two plasma cutting ends up together. And I probably should have put the two straighter ends that I cut with the angle grinder. But it doesn't matter. I'll probably just bead weld that back together, just throw a bead on it and back it with some strapping of some sort. Or also on the back here, I plan to take some flat stock and build some little brackets in on each of the corners just to give it a little extra strength, and then I'll run full welds on these support arms so that way they don't crack and break anymore. So all in all, for the materials and the time that I have into it, it will work pretty good, I think. And I'm not a professional plower, so I just will use it a couple times a year and I'll be good with it. So anyways, stay tuned for more videos on this, and as I finish it up, I'll be building a skid steer quick attach mount for it, and the swivel part. I don't know where to get the springs yet, but hopefully somebody can point me in the direction of how to get the springs, and you know, hopefully I could figure out a good way to mount those and get that all working properly. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be uploading more of these videos as I continue on, and if you'd like to track this progress, just subscribe. Anyways, thanks for watching.